I'm from the desert. I grew up in the desert. I'm a desert child. So, I had to get something that reminds me of home. Let's talk about these. So, here we have the Nike Air Max TN Air Max Plus in the Pimento colorway. This shoe is beautiful. This shoe is iconic, ever since its release back in the day, back when, we had we had the craze of the mesh runners. Air Max was, kind of sort of making a transition towards the 2000s with more futuristic looks and whatnot. There was a pack released of the Pimento, of the Hyper Blue, and the other purple colorway. And these have been commonly known as Tigers, Pimento, Sunsets, and of course, because it essentially looks like a sunset and it features the kind of same colors as a tiger. The Nike Air Max Plus, specifically the Sunset, was first released in 1998. And it was retroed a few times in the decade that followed. It hit the shelves in 2014 and then again in 2018. And here we have it coming back in 2024. Now, there are some very noticeable differences from this 2024 release and previous releases. A lot of people have said that these are a little bit more yellow than the classic orange ones. Well, than the classic ones. The classic ones have more of that orange tinge, and the fade sort of begins a little bit closer to the toe box. So these kind of have been received with very mixed reviews. Overall, I think they kind of work better. They're a little bit more contrasted in that sense, and they just look a little bit more interesting to look at, if I'm being totally honest. Now, famously, the Air Max Plus is inspired by palm trees and by the scenic ocean views. The shoe was designed by Sean McDowell, which took inspiration from the palm tree swaying, and you can tell by the kind of wavy forms here in the plastic cage that encompasses the whole shoe. And then as well here in the midfoot shank, this was inspired by whales' tails and the way that they kind of are shaped. Kind of really, this specific colorway works really well with it because of the sunset. Beach cities, beach areas, just they tend to have some very iconic sunsets. So specifically this colorway just works great, I think, with the Air Max Plus silhouette. Of course, the difference, for example, from the Air Max Plus and the Air Max Vapor Max Plus is the outsole. The outsole here is a little bit more stiff. It's an, exposed air unit on both the forefoot and the back foot and the heel area. The Vapor Max Plus, those have the fully exposed bubble all across the shoe. So this one keeps the air bubble surrounded by this outsole. I specifically like this shoe, the way that the outsole is designed a little bit better. It just gives it more form. It keeps the bubble in place. So one of my main complaints with the Vapor Max Plus has always been that it's, because the bubble sticks out so much and it's very malleable, it's very, it moves to depending on where the pressure of your foot is. It makes it easier for you to kind of twist your ankle. So these specifically, I think they feel a lot better and they're a little bit more comfortable to walk in. I've tested Vapor Max Plus, for almost a year now. I've used them at work. I use them thoroughly at work. And even though they're comfortable to walk in, that was only my main complaint. They're not very stable when it comes to walking in uneven surfaces, for example. And these, you get a little bit more of a flat traction all throughout, just because of the outsole, just because it encases the bubble a little bit better in this. The outsole, you got the classic waffle sort of trail trekking that we see throughout a lot of Air Maxes. You even see them as, recently in the Air Max DN. That sort of trail waffle outsole is very much still alive. And I guess, that is what essentially makes the Air Max line a very iconic shoe. Gives you grip, makes it very comfortable to walk in. You're walking on an air bubble. And overall just a very rugged sort of walking shoe. These were designed obviously, you know, as running shoes, but throughout they kind of like started to transition over to more of a lifestyle shoe. And you know, you can definitely see the reason why that is, and that is the ruggedness of the outsole, the comfort of the air bubble, and just the lightweight nature of the upper. The upper is this sort of very tightly knit, not neoprene, but sort of fabric. You know, it's kind of neoprene, but it's not really not neoprene fabric, which just makes the shoe so much more breathable. The tongue is a little bit padded, of course, but it's not, you know, it's not the most comfortable, as you all know. It is pretty flimsy to the touch, but I guess that is what gives the Air Max Plus, that sort of a breathability and lightweight to it. And then you of course have the plastic cage that, you know, that is inspired from the palm trees, that just encompasses the whole shoe, and it just keeps your foot in place, gives you stability, and then it just looks really nice. You got the swoosh, the classic swoosh here, the sort of jewel, plastic jewel, and then you got the classic TN elemental branding all throughout the shoe, which essentially means TN stands for Nike's tuned air experience. You know, this year recently we got the dynamic air with the Air Max DNs. You got the Vapor Maxes, the Vapor Max Plus, and they all kind of follow with that table of elements sort of branding that Nike loves to put on the rather new. I mean, I guess you can say that the Air Max line has this specific distinction from regular Air Max and then kind of like the Air Max Plus. And the branding is a huge part of it. Nike officially describes this shoe: early sunsets, late night campfires. It's the season to bring fresh energy to your tuned air experience. Enter this blazing edition of the Air Max Plus. Its high temp color palette melts gradient hues with glossy black accents for style that sizzles. Plus, a Max Air unit in the heel and forefoot bring legendary bounce, letting you take the streets in comfort. This specific colorway officially is black, bright ceramic, resin, and pimento, but as I said, it's commonly known as the Air Max Plus Sunset or the Air Max Plus Tiger. And yeah, I mean, overall, it is a rather comfortable and very lightweight shoe. I started to kind of size up with a lot of my shoes, specifically shoes that you walk a lot in. They tend to be slimmer here at the forefoot area, and especially in the toe box. So I always size up in Air Max shoes, because it just I found that, you know, casual walking shoes really crush my tiptoes. It's just sort of the way that my foot is. It just kind of like tends to feel a little bit tighter in that area. But overall, it is a very breathable shoe. Again, my only complaint with a lot of the Air Max Pluses have always been this plastic toe mud guard, I guess. I don't like the look of it. I think as time passes, condensation gets stuck in there. It starts to yellow. It looks pretty bad, and I just never been a big fan of the plastic mud guard. And I wish Nike would get rid of it, because it kind of just makes the shoe look a little bit cheaper in my opinion. But overall, really happy with this shoe. Very comfortable shoe, a classic shoe. You ask any Air Max fan and they'll know which specific shoe you're talking about. When you talk about the Pimentos, the Sunsets, just a classic shoe, and I'm so excited that these are making a comeback. I cannot wait to complete the pack of these. I started out my collection with Air Max 97s, so I've kind of, you know, attribute a lot of my sneaker love to the Air Max line. You know, I obviously I love Jordans, but Air Maxes are top of the line when it comes to comfort, style. They're just some of the best to ever do it, some of the best lines to ever do it, and I don't think there's another silhouette that makes it, you know, that doesn't quite like the Air Maxes. And I'm so excited also to see that there's some other type of shoes that are drawing inspiration from the Air Max Pluses. You saw it recently this year with the cleats, the football cleats, soccer cleats, that mimicked this specific silhouette, but in the purple colorway. and it just looks very, very well. And I'm glad that Nike's kind of like tapping back into that late 90s, early 2000s aesthetic, because I feel that's when Nike was at its best. That's when they were trying new things. That's when they were like breaking down barriers, breaking down like conventions when it comes to design, and not just design but also technology. Like that's when they really started to like cement themselves in the lifestyle, in the sneakerhead, and in the basketball world. So very happy that Nike is finally kind of giving us back those colorways. After almost 6 years, I feel that that is the sweet spot to really retro these iconic colorways and these iconic shoes. But folks, you let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Air Max Plus Pimentos slash Sunsets slash Tigers, whatever you want to call them. Are you excited that these are retroing again? Are you excited for the Hyper Blues? I know I'm very, very excited for those. I still need to cop the purple ones. I've seen them on sale here and there, but I'm trying to like really be conscious of my spending nowadays. I am getting married in a couple of months, so trying to like take it slow with the spending. But if I'm able to find a great deal on these, and it seems like these have been sitting for quite some time, so very excited for the possibility of getting these at a discount, specifically the purple ones. But you let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Air Max Plus in the Pimento colorway. Folks, I've been True Fernie. This has been True Fernie. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because believe it or not, every single bit helps. The links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Threads, where I've kind of been, trying not to spend too much time on it, just for my mental health. I'm trying to like really enjoy my life, live my life, be more present in the real world. I kind of have a sort of a addictive personality, so I've been really conscious of how I spend my time online, but still make sure to follow me on Threads, where I spend most of my waking hours talking about sneakers, talking about video games, talking about sports, talking about everything and anything that might interest you as my viewer. Make sure to also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I upload more short form sneaker content, and where your support is greatly appreciated. But folks, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of one another, but most importantly, take care of yourself. And don't let that light sunset on you. Peace.